Well, now on BBC One Wales, the battle is on for Oxford and Cambridge as we join Rugby Union's Varsity match at Twickenham. It's introduced by Chris Ray.
Welcome to Twickenham, where the ground is at its brightest best and will be at its fullest for the 109th Varsity match. Good afternoon to you from our position high in the new North Stand, which has just been completed in time for this great occasion, and means that there will be a capacity crowd of 57,300. Now that's the largest crowd for a Varsity match since 1961. All throughout the morning there have been cars queuing round the ground, not helped, I may say, by a bomb scare, which happily turned out to be just that. But there are some great reunions, I may say, going on in the car park. I've just had a meeting of the 1970 Oxford side, members of which have come from all parts of the world. David Barry, their hooker, come all the way from Canada for it. It's a tremendous atmosphere and, of course, unique on the rugby calendar. Very, very few I suppose, who actually do support either of the universities, but it's a marvellous day out for school children and also for the city. I suppose more mobile phones to the square yard than anywhere else in the country at the moment. For the players, of course, the months of intense preparation and endless waiting are almost over. It's of the 108 matches played, Oxford have won 46, Cambridge have won 49. And in the recent contests, Cambridge have had very much the better of things, including last year's match.
Possession, Andy Booth. Back goes Hine, it's a tricky one. It's a beautifully placed kick, and through is Graham Davies. This is the first score. Cambridge is 22. Taylor, Smith. Oh, it's a gift pass through to Mick Sims. And Sims has a clear run in. I don't think Elliott will catch him. He'll be under the post. Another fatal error by Oxford, and Cambridge celebrate. It's there. Brian Smith. Long feed to Hine. Could be on the end of a scoring pass. Here he is. The ball's still there. You could just about see it. Oxford have it again. It's a clear chance. Elliott to Hine. Behind the post. It's Oxford to come back. Bray with a useless pass inside. It's opened a chance for Adrian Davies, who can control it. Gary Hine goes back. Davies has possession and the try.
So Cambridge, the defenders of the Bowring Bowl, they've had very much the better of things of the last decade, winning 7 of the matches, Oxford just winning 3. And in the build-up to this year's game, they've looked very much the better side. They have a magnificent back row in Chris Sheesby, the number 8, Robert Poole-Jones and Simon Holmes, the captain, on the flank, and of course behind a pair of very young but very mature halfbacks, both Welshmen, Andy Booth, and the one-cap player, Adrian Davies. Tony Underwood, younger brother of Rory, on the wing, and much will be expected of him, and certainly he's been in rare form since the start of the season. Had a disappointing tour in Argentina. Oxford, of course, have been riven by internal strife early on in the season, which meant the departure of their Australian internationals, Brian Smith, who will be running the line on the Oxford side this afternoon, and Troy Coker in the second row. So everything set, just a few more minutes now and the teams will be coming out onto the field. The tension in the changing rooms will be unimaginable as we join our match commentators, Hugo McNeill and Nigel Starmer-Smith.
Yes, the unique occasion, the tension, perhaps the greatest for many of these young rugby players in their whole rugby lives. It is that traditional second Tuesday in December, and an occasion where no one in the ground is neutral. You're either a darker or a lighter shade of blue. Well, alongside me is a renowned darker shade of blue of recent times, Ireland international Hugo McNeill, as we watch the Cambridge side, the warm favourites for this year's 109th varsity match, take the field. Well, Hugo, looking on now as an old blue, it looks, as the pundits would say, firmly Cambridge's year.
Yes, I think certainly Cambridge are justified favourites because of their performance in the term to date. But, you know, this match is just such a one-off occasion. Both sides have trained all year for it, with the last 10 weeks particularly intense. And Oxford, I know, are very committed, very built up, and they're going to give up their best today. Cambridge are a strong side, but I think if Oxford can start well, it could be a close contest.
Yes, it is so different from any other match. It is a one-off, and of course it's all about performance on the day, and the better records, as we've seen so often in the history of this game, have counted for naught. We've had so many surprises. Is Mark Egan about to produce another turn-up in the annals of the varsity match history? Mark Egan, who's a very effective leader of the side, he's had his troubles and traumas, but he's certainly generated great team spirit, and Oxford will be depending much on him. The teams lined up for the anthem. Oxford with 4 old blues, and as I said, much depending on the motivational skills of Mark Egan. Key strengths perhaps the midfield of Phil de Glanville and Rory Maloney. A solid front five, and watch out for the significant influence. It could be very important to Oxford hopes. Glenn Taylor on the open flank. Question marks over goal kicking, and of course a lot of pressure on new halfbacks. And a Cambridge side led by Simon Holmes, one of 6 old blues, having had a more successful season. They have the key strengths at half-back in the Welsh pairing of Andy Booth and Adrian Davies. The outstanding back row, and alongside Chris Sheesby, Richard Poole-Jones, the line-out work of Robertson and O'Callaghan. If it's a running game, watch out for Tony Underwood. Oxford then